The water was freezing. The laughter around the pool echoed like cruel thunder. A group of girls stood at the edge, smirking, their phones out, already recording. And there she was, Emma Hayes, the quiet farm girl with mud on her boots and straw sometimes stuck in her long braid, pulled out of her world of cows, barns, and cornfields, thrown into the city school where her silence made her a target. But what nobody knew, what not a single one of them could have guessed, was that Emma wasn't just the farm girl. She was a martial arts prodigy. And this day, this cruel shove into the pool, would change everything. Emma's life had always been split in two worlds. At home, on the family farm, she was strong and confident. Waking up before dawn, carrying hay bales heavier than most of the boys in her class could lift, riding horses with ease, and training in the old wooden barn where her father had built a tiny dojo. Martial arts wasn't just a hobby for Emma, it was her soul. Her grandfather, a decorated martial artist, had taught her since she was 6. Balance, discipline, self-control. The strongest fighter, he would say, is the one who never needs to fight. But when you must, fight with everything inside you. At school, however, Emma felt invisible. She didn't brag about her skills. She didn't talk about the medals she had won in tournaments. She wore simple clothes, often smelling faintly of hay. And that was enough for the popular kids to label her as the outsider. The bullies came in groups. Savannah, the queen bee with a cruel smile. Her friends, who laughed at every insult she threw. They mocked Emma for her boots. For her quietness. For bringing homemade lunches wrapped in wax paper instead of store-bought. Farm girl, they'd call her. Do you milk cows before school? She probably talks to chickens more than people. The laughter stung, but Emma never replied. She remembered her grandfather's words, strength is shown in silence. Until the day by the pool. It was a school event at a local community center. Music blared, kids splashed in the water, and Emma sat alone, her book open in her lap. She didn't like parties. Didn't like noise. She was fine being invisible. But Savannah wasn't. Look at her, Savannah whispered to her friends, pointing. Sitting there like she's too good for us. Let's give farm girl a little swim. Emma felt the shadows before she heard the footsteps. Suddenly, hands shoved hard against her back. Her book flew, pages fluttering in the air, and cold water swallowed her whole. Laughter erupted. Phones recorded. Someone shouted, "Farm girl finally takes a bath." Emma stayed underwater longer than expected. The bullies giggled nervously. Was she crying? Was she struggling? But then, Emma emerged. Her braid clung to her shoulder, her eyes sharp, steady, calm. And for the first time, Savannah felt a shiver of unease. Emma didn't explode in anger. She didn't scream or curse. She simply climbed out of the pool, dripping, and looked Savannah straight in the eye. You shouldn't have done that, she said quietly. The bullies laughed again, but something in her tone silenced them faster than words ever could. Because Emma wasn't just the quiet farm girl anymore. She had been pushed too far. The next week, fate shifted everything. A self-defense class was announced at school, a local martial arts instructor offering lessons. Most students signed up as a joke. Savannah and her crew joined only to make fun. Emma joined quietly, blending in at the back. The instructor asked for volunteers. Savannah shoved Emma forward. Let farm girl try. This'll be funny. The room chuckled. Emma looked at the instructor, who nodded kindly. The bully smirked. Come on, Scarecrow, show us what you got. What happened next became legend. Emma moved with lightning precision. The bully lunged. Emma sidestepped, fluid and graceful, twisting her opponent's wrist in a controlled lock before gently lowering her to the mat. No aggression. No cruelty. Just pure mastery. Gasps filled the room. The instructor's eyes widened. You've trained before. Emma didn't answer. She simply helped her stunned classmate back to her feet. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. The girl they mocked, the girl they thought was weak, was the strongest among them. Word spread fast. By lunchtime, everyone knew. Farm girl wasn't just a farm girl. She was a fighter. A prodigy. Videos of her demonstration spread across phones like wildfire. Savannah burned with jealousy. She couldn't stand that her power over Emma was crumbling. So she challenged her again, in front of everyone, demanding a sparring match. Emma didn't want it. She hated fighting outside the dojo. But when Savannah tried to humiliate her again, Emma agreed, with one condition. No cameras. No crowd. Just you and me. Savannah sneered but accepted. The match was quick. Savannah threw wild punches fueled by anger. Emma moved like water, dodging, redirecting, never striking harder than necessary. Within minutes, Savannah was on the ground, staring up in disbelief. Emma didn't gloat. She didn't even smile. She extended a hand. Strength isn't about hurting people, she said softly. It's about protecting yourself and others. For the first time, Savannah had no words. The weeks that followed changed everything. Emma wasn't invisible anymore. Some kids apologized. Some wanted to learn from her. Even Savannah, slowly, quietly, began to soften. She wasn't Emma's friend, but she stopped the cruelty. Emma, however, never let the attention get to her head. She went back to her farm, back to her horses, back to her barn dojo. Because deep down, she didn't fight for fame. She fought for peace.